Hi everyone, Miss Gadberry here. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start our Wit and Wisdom first lesson. So for lesson 1, we're going to wonder. We're going to learn about wondering. When we look at our new text, we're going to think about something called the big question. The big question will take us a long time to answer, and this is called the essential question. And we're going to work through the whole module and have lots of great books to explore and discover the answers. And the big question is something we're going to follow all year long. We're going to have new ones with each text. Our essential question for this text is, how does reading help us learn? Let's try that. How does reading help us learn? This is our text for this module. It's called Wild About Books. When we're reading Wild About Books, we're going to think about that big question. And one of the ways to help us answer that big question is with a medium-sized question. And this is going to take us a few days to answer. This is called the focusing question. Focusing questions are like stepping stones. Our focusing question for this text is, how does the librarian make reading fun in Wild About Books? Let's read that together. How does the librarian make reading fun in Wild About Books? The smallest question we're going to answer, and that's the question we can answer today in our Zoom sessions, and this is called the content framing question. Our content framing question for today is, what do I notice and wonder in Wild About Books? So we have our big question, the essential question. We have our focusing question, our medium-sized question, and our content framing question, which is our small little question. Here's our story, Wild About Books.
Storytime with Miss Rose. Today's story is Wild About Books by Judy Sierra, pictures by Mark Brown. It started the summer of 2002 when the Springfield Library Molly McGrew by mistake drove her bookmobile into the zoo. Molly opened the door and she let down the stair, turned on the computer and sat in her chair. At first, all the animals watched from a distance, but Molly could conquer the strongest resistance. By reading aloud from the good Dr. Seuss, she quickly attracted a mink and a moose, a wombat, an oryx, a lemur, a lynx, 8 elephant calves, and a family of skinks. In a flash, every beast in the zoo was stampeding to learn all about this new something called reading. Forsaking their niches, their nests, and their nooks, they went wild, simply wild about wonderful books, choosing thin books and fat books and cat in the hat books, and new books and true books and heaps of how-to books. Giraffes wanted tall books and crickets craved small books, while geckos could only read stick-to-the-wall books. The pandas demanded more books in Chinese. Molly filled the request, always eager to please. She even found waterproof books for the otter, who never went swimming without Harry Potter. Raccoons read alone and baboons read in bunches, and llamas read dramas while eating their lunches. Hyenas shared jokes with the red-bellied snakes, and they howled and they hissed till their funny bones ached. A true kangaroo who adored Nancy Drew began solving mysteries right there at the zoo, such as, why were the bandicoots' books overdue? Gently, Molly taught lessons in treating books right, for the boa constrictors squeezed Crichter too tight. Baby bunnies mucked up Goodnight Moon with their paws. Giant termites devoured the Wizard of Oz. And Bear's love of books was completely outrageous. They licked all the pictures right off of the pages. Tasmanian devils found books so exciting that soon they had given up fighting for writing. They made up adventures so thrilling and new that the others decided to be authors too. Pythons wrote with their tails, penguins wrote with their bills, and porcupines wrote with their very own quills. At the new insect zoo, bugs were scribbling haiku. The scorpion gave each a stinging review. Walking stick. A cannibal twig silently devours a leaf, eating, not eaten. Pretentious. Dung beetle. Roll a ball of dung. Any kind of poo will do. Baby beetle bed. Stinks. Millipede. I dig for treasure in my enchanted castle. A rotten apple. Boring. Giant hissing cockroach. Hiss, 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 hiss. Hiss, 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 hiss. Hiss, 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 hiss. Redundant. As the cheetah's new novel began to take shape, he read chapters each night to the Barbary ape. And although the gazelle couldn't spell very well, like everyone else, she had stories to tell. Imagine the hippo's enormous surprise when her memoir was given the Zulitzer Prize. With so many new books, Molly knew what to do. She hired 12 beavers, a stork, and a gnu to build a branch library there at the zoo. And the animals cried, "We can do it ourselves. We can check the books out. We can put them on shelves." And they did, and they do, up to this very day. 3 cheers for the zoobrary. Hip, hip, hooray. When you visit the zoo now, you surely won't mind if the animals seem just a bit hard to find. They are snug in their niches, their nests, and their nooks, going wild, simply wild about wonderful books. Thanks for watching Storytime with Miss Rose. If you liked the video, make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell for more videos. Don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed the book, there's a link to purchase in the description below. Thank you.
So one more thing I want you guys to think about before our Zoom sessions today is, what is your favorite book and what do you like about it? So we're going to think about what our favorite book is and what we like about it. We're also going to think about that big question, how does reading help us learn? And that's our essential question. And our small question, our content framing question, what do I notice and wonder in Wild about books? And have your answers ready for your teachers, okay? Bye, you guys.